Hi guys, today I'm going to teach you all about the first steps to building a working pantry. A working pantry is something I've referred to in my previous videos as one of the ways I feed my family well on a tight budget. It also makes my meal planning faster and easier. So if you want to learn what a working pantry is, what it can do for you and your family, and how to get started, then let's get into it. So what exactly is a working pantry? I define it as an on-hand supply of shelf-stable and/or frozen foods that provide the building blocks of meals for your household. There are three main categories. So canned foods, which includes things like beans, tomatoes, and other vegetables, along with things like soups or chili, as well as things like cream of soups that are great for casseroles or pasta sauces. All of these things make building blocks for great meals. Then you have your dry goods, so rice, dry beans, pasta, all of these things are great for being on the shelf for a long time, and you can stretch meals with them as well. I also included things like rice-a-roni just because they're great for a flavor boost as well, and easy for a weeknight meal. Next up, frozen foods. So think potatoes, like hash browns or tater tots. I also keep vegetables and meats on hand as well. Again, building blocks for great meals for your family. So why is a working pantry so important? Well, first, it makes meal planning so much easier. When you know what's on hand at all times, you have a pool of resources to pull from. You easily can make meals with what you have on hand and fill in with fresh ingredients as you can. It also saves you money. You can become more insulated from price fluctuations at the grocery store by taking advantage of sale prices and stock up when the price is low. It also keeps you prepared in case of emergencies, illness, or bad weather even. It can give you peace of mind that even if you're sick or unable to make it to the grocery store because of an illness in the family, you have enough food to make it through until you can get to the grocery store again. Now you might be asking yourself, doesn't a pantry require a lot of space? The answer is no, it doesn't. Get creative with your space. If you're in an apartment, carve out a small space in a cabinet, or maybe find a cubby in the hallway that's not being used. Again, be creative. But it's just me or my partner, you say. I don't really need a pantry. But you actually do. It's just as important to keep your home well stocked for the same reasons a family would. Just remember to scale it down for what you or your partner need. So this seems like a big process, right? Where do you start? Well, let me show you just how easy it is to get started. Let's walk through an example together. So start by thinking of 5 or 6 of the meals that you make the most often. I'm going to walk you through with an example for my own family. So we make tostadas, we make hash, we make quesadillas, my daughter's favorite, and Frito pie, perfect slow cooker dinner that my kids can make, and sweet and sour meatballs, and last but not least would be spaghetti. Okay, so there's my 6 examples. Now you're going to write out the ingredients that these meals require. That would be shelf stable or frozen. So for tostadas, I can have corn tortillas. Those actually last much longer than the package will tell you they do. I can also use canned beans, either black or pinto. We also use olives for these. And I can also do my homemade refried beans, which I will include a link for in the video. They're super easy, so those require dry pinto beans. Okay, and then for hash, that would be any kind of meat. So whatever we have left over is typically what we use for hash, but we usually want to have sausage on hand in the freezer. And I also like to keep hash browns of various types. Another variation on this, instead of doing hash, you can do a breakfast casserole, and that one's actually really good if you have tater tots on hand. For quesadillas, Again, tortillas, but this time flour tortillas of either size that you like. And same thing, ground beef. So, or whatever meat we happen to have on hand at the time, beans, and that's probably it for quesadillas, to be honest. Frito pie would be ground beef, chili beans, kidney beans, black beans, and canned tomatoes, and that would give that would round that one out. And then for sweet and sour meatballs, these are really easy. They're only really 3 ingredients. You have meatballs, our favorite are the Costco ones, of course, grape jelly, which we keep on hand anyway, and chili sauce. All really easy shelf-stable items that we can keep on hand always. And I also like to keep rice, because we have rice with that as well. Preferably jasmine, but we can use whatever kind of rice we have. And for our last meal of spaghetti, we need spaghetti noodles and ground beef, crushed tomatoes, so those are canned, tomato sauce, and I think that's about it for that one. Okay, now we're ready to start making our pantry item list. Basically, we're gonna start making an inventory of what we wanna keep in our pantry. So we're gonna start with these items here, and then we're gonna fill in so that we have at least 15 to 20 items. That should be enough to start a pantry and give you something to work with. So let me tear this sheet out really quick, and then we'll make our list. Okay, so in canned foods, we have black beans, pinto beans, olives. Let me see, kidney beans. Beans are actually a great way to sneak some extra protein in, as well as stretch your meat supply. And goodness gracious, has meat gotten expensive. So you definitely want to stretch it where you can. And that's a good way to do it with adding some protein at the same time. Let me see what else we have. We have diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and tomato sauce, and chili sauce. And you can see how quickly this list is actually coming together. And I'm also able to really think of some other things that I can use these items for already, so that we have crossover of things like diced tomatoes and the beans. We can also make not only the Frito pie and the tostadas and the spaghetti, but we can also do things like chili. So those are great things to start thinking about when you're looking at these, is what other ways can you combine them. But I'll go through that more in a future video. Okay, let's continue with our list here. So chili sauce, and then we have grape jelly, and I think I got them all. And then let's go ahead and do dry goods. So that's gonna be our pastas and rices, so definitely spaghetti noodles. And we also had rice, whatever your favorite kind of rice would be. And we also had dry pinto beans for the refried beans, if that's what we choose. And we also have corn and flour tortillas. And another alternative, if you're feeling fancy and you have the time, you could always make your own tortillas if you so choose to, and then you really would have a truly shelf-stable pantry ingredient as well. But that's just an option. We don't typically choose to do that in our house because time is pretty short, but it's just an option I thought I'd throw out there. And then last but not least, we have a few frozen items. So we'll have the meatballs, ground beef, ground sausage, and hash browns. And I think that's it. So let's see how many items we came up with. So I count a total of 18 items, and that's just without really even trying. These literally are meals that we make all the time. So again, I hope this exercise shows you how easy it is to get started. Now all you need to do is the next time you go to the grocery store, you're going to simply purchase a little bit more than what you need to make these meals. So for example, the meatballs. It takes 32 ounces of meatballs to make the sweet and sour meatballs. So you would purchase at least one extra bag of meatballs when you go to the store. And as you do this for all of the items in your list, you'll start to build up a stockpile. And that's what you want to happen. It doesn't happen overnight, but as you go to the store each time, you'll build up a little bit more, which makes it so much more doable than just trying to do it all at once. You'll take bite-sized chunks and break up the process. Obviously, this will be easier to do with the less expensive items, such as the beans and the rice, but do a little extra on the other items when you can, as your budget allows.
So that's it. You've just taken the first steps towards building your own working pantry. Remember, like most things I talk about on this channel, it's a process. It won't be done overnight. In fact, your pantry will be something you continue to work on and grow as time goes on. In future videos, I'll be talking more about the working pantry, how to use it to its full potential, and how to do things like building meals from it. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. We'll see you guys again soon.